And somebody just turns up at the last minute, but it's still not Thomas. Good afternoon, guys. My name's Jason Wormsley. I'm the head facilitator here at Network Educate Invite. Actually, one of our biggest meetings. We've got 16 people in the room so far, and I can still see from my little screen on this side, there's people actually still trying to get in, which is great. As you know, every Wednesday we have an educational session that's designed to help you in business. Today was supposed to be Thomas Dean about how to create your own app and the benefits of doing that. Unfortunately, I'm assuming he's a little bit ill. I can't get hold of him. It's not normal for Thomas. But we're not going to waste the opportunity. We've all set aside 45 minutes to an hour on a Wednesday. We might as well do something about it. People here that know me know it's all about making connections. So what we'll do, we'll have a bit of a web round, see who we are, what we do, how people in the room can actually help us. And then what we'll do, we'll hand over to Kel Holiday, who, as I said before, is my go-to when I need somebody to talk for 15 to 20 minutes. And then we'll see if there's any questions, and then we can all go on our way. So what I'll actually do, I will start with I've got it on gallery screen here. So we'll start off with my first one. Phil Moore, can you please tell us who you are, what you do, and how we can help you?
Yes, thank you, Jay. I'm Phil Moore from Phil Moore Designs. I'm a professional graphic designer who also loves to create animations and 3D designs, and I love to help people stand out with personalised custom designs, and I'm in Newcastle, New South Wales.
Beautiful, thank you, Phil. And for anybody that doesn't know, if you've not seen one of our videos, we have this little animation that goes into our videos, designed by Phil. Absolutely fantastic, absolutely love it. So thank you, Phil. Martha.
Hi, I'm the newbie here. My name is Martha Moore. I'm known as the Super Confident Coach. I help women to gain confidence in their life, self-worth, relationship, and career. So what I'm looking for is the opportunity to connect with new people. And if you know someone that needs some confident training, feel free to send them my way. Thank you.
Sure, we can help with that one. Thank you very much, Martha. Going across my screen, you've already heard from me. John.
Hi, good afternoon, guys. My name is John Ferrer. I work with Jason at BConnect. I'm a strong sales background, half a decade in the telecommunications industry, but now I focus on customer acquisition for BConnect.
Beautiful, thank you. Is there anything you're particularly looking for, John? What sort of connections are we looking for?
I don't have a particular interest at the moment, but I'll get around to it.
Thanks, mate. No worries. Okay, Adrian.
Hey, good afternoon. I'm Adrian Bendel-Charles. I got my own company, Maven Sales Intelligence, picking up the phone for people who don't like doing that for themselves. And I was also born with a face for telesales.
That it? That all you got? It's not like you. You normally go for ages, mate.
Well, there is a little bit more. I wasn't just born with a face for telesales. I was also born with a small right hand compared to my left hand, with something called Poland syndrome, which sounds very negative. So I'm starting a support group for adults with it called Poland Syndromites.
Lovely. No worries. Thank you very much, Adrian. And I think a lot of people in the room already know Adrian anyway. He used to come along, tagging along to BX Network with me quite often. So we move along to Dre Ockenden.
Hello, I'm Dre Ockenden, cyber specialist. I create WordPress websites, do the maintenance and security for the websites, and I also teach kids between the ages of 10 and 16 how to code using Python.
All right, and how can the people in the room help you today, Dre?
I can't think of anything at the moment, so I'll move on to the next person.
I have been at networking events with you for 2 years, mate, and you've never not asked for a referral, my friend. I'm getting a bit...
I know. I'm just having a blank.
It's the lockdown, mate. Paul Skeen, how are you today, sir?
Good afternoon, everybody. Paul Skeen from FinTrends. I'm a finance broker. We work with small to medium-sized businesses to help them to take how they are getting finance, to try and make the process as smooth as possible. You still connect any small business owners that might need finance or help with their business finance.
Beautiful. Thanks, Jason. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate that. Dev.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dave, and I work closely with Jason for BBX New Zealand. And I'm responsible for new client acquisition and managing existing clients within BBX New Zealand.
Beautiful. Thank you, Dev. Appreciate you. First time I think you've been on one as well.
It's my second time.
It's your second, right? Okay, my memory's not what it used to be. Mate. As I go through, Julie.
Hello, everybody. My very first time here. And yes, I am Jason's neighbour and we put up with each other over the fence.
Your bloody dog, I tell you.
Yeah, and your bloody dog too. Anyway, so I am the CEO of a startup called the Seniors Channel. Before COVID hit, I was a professional seniors entertainer and I've performed around 600 concerts for residents living in aged care. Of course, COVID took away all of my income. And so I pivoted and we are now building the Seniors Channel, which is a media channel designed specifically for aged care and anybody over the age of 65. And what we're building is a Netflix for seniors. We are in that very crucial startup phase. And if I want to say what I'm looking for, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for an investor. I'm looking for a COO co-founder. I'm looking for sponsorship opportunities. And I sound like a true startup.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Jill. Now, when she says she used to be a professional singer, she still practices a hell of a lot and she still sounds really good. Better than your husband, anyway.
Oh, I'm going to tell him that.
Okay. Alan, how are you, mate?
Good, thanks, Jason. I'm Alan Stevens. I'm a profiling and communication specialist, which means I help people to read other people more effectively, to understand how they need to be spoken to so they build stronger relationships. I do that through your facial features that tell me your personality, then your expressions and your body language that then tell me your emotions and whether I've read you right as well. The other side of it, I'm also the creator of the hashtag #WeTogether and the Campfire Project. And we're always looking for people to come in there to tell their stories. But on the business side, I'm looking at raising and creating my competition and training them to the highest possible level. And I'm looking for businesses that are struggling through COVID who want to improve their relationships with their staff. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Alan. Kel, how are you?
Mate, I'm here. That's okay. Kel from Transformational Hub. So I was actually going to come to you today from inside of my new boat. I just got a new toy that's out the front, but I've been demoted into here or promoted into here. So we're time and freedom experts. So we help with productivity, and I'm going to share some of those secrets with you today.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Kel. And I work very closely with Kel. Kel's sort of my go-to man on this project, and he's seriously appreciated. He really is. Now, I'm starting to get a little concerned, the amount of BBX people we actually have in the room. Magali, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you all. I'm Magali, BBX International General Manager. Been running BBX for 29 years, so quite a long time. I will oversee all heads of operation, including marketing and including Southeast Asia. So lovely to meet you all. This is my first time here supporting one of my right-hand men, Jason. All right. And then also some of my left-hand men, John and Dev, who both also work for me. So I am BBX head, happy to support anybody and always available. So lovely to meet you all today.
Thanks, Magali. And obviously I now have to be on my best behaviour. So, okay, Sangeeta, another BBX one.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sang. I work for BBX head office in Sydney. I'm one of the customer care. And I have more than 10 years of experience in customer service.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sang. Now, just for the benefit of the people in the room that are here for the first time, as you can see, BBX are the major sponsors of this project. So these are the guys that have actually put up the funding to be able to get all the stuff done, get the videos done, get the website done. Now, BBX really have got behind this project and support it because it's all about sharing the knowledge out there with business. And it's something we're trying to push more and more through BBX. So that's why we've got so many BBX people on today. So they've got an idea of what it is. so that they can assist further within the BBX network. So it's not just a case of you come in and BBX are going to overpower you. There's normally not that many of us here, but yeah, because of where we're going with it, this is why we've jumped in. So as we move along, we now have Fiona Price. Welcome.
Hey, thank you, Jason. My name's Fiona Price, and I'm Director of Globalized Consulting, and I'm a cross-cultural communications specialist. So the sort of clients that I typically work with are educators and people in the sort of service kind of industry. So what I'd be interested in looking at is referral partners. At the moment, particularly focusing on anyone who educates, works with, or provides service to people who are immigrants from China.
Nice, nice. Would it be fair to say, with the way that you presented that so succinctly, you are a BX networking member?
I am indeed a BX networking member.
You can spot a BX one every time. That's fantastic. Thank you very much. Jackie, haven't seen you for a long time.
Hello, yeah, Jacqueline Price from All Communications Network. I assist business owners and residents save on their bills, like energy, essential services and communications. I've just helped my local cafe owner save $170 a month on his electricity bill and $25 a month on his EFTPOS fees. So in these difficult times, they're only on takeaways, lost 80% of their trade. It's a big bonus for that local business.
Yeah, I think anywhere that you can save cash is a big thing these days.
Okay, can I just say, I signed up through Jacqueline on ACN. It was before Christmas, I think. We've had a couple of bills come in now, and there's still the electricity, gas. They're still 25% lower than what they were before we signed up through Jacqueline.
Nice. Yeah. There's a good plug for you, Jacqueline.
It's a lot better now since the energy's moved to Sumo instead of Click Energy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as we move through. Hi, Shafiq. How are you, mate?
Hi, everyone. I'm a BBX licensee. I manage BBX Melbourne Southeast. So I've been working with the BBX for last 3 years, but I know the BATA industry. I've been in this industry for the last 15 years as well. So I work closely with Jason and Magali as well as Sangeeta. This is my team, and we have a bigger team as well. Thank you.
I really appreciate you coming along and supporting as well today. It is appreciated, mate. And the last on the list, and I've actually left him to last because he's our presenter next week as well, Ben Mackey.
Thank you, Jason. G'day, everybody. I can see a few familiar faces here that I haven't spoken to in a while. It's great to see you all. G'day, Phil. I see that wave. So for those of you who haven't met me before, I'm Ben Mackey. I'm the Director of Scribe Copywriting. At Scribe, we help you to perfect your marketing message so you can attract new leads more easily and get your time back to focus on doing what it is you do best. And I can do that through writing your copy for you or providing ongoing copy consultations and support now. So if that interests you, let's talk later on. The people that I love to be put in contact with always are anybody who's in the digital marketing sphere. So if you are in the digital marketing sphere and we haven't spoken before, or if you know somebody who is, I'd love to be connected with them. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Ben. And Ben is actually our guest presenter next week on how to make your story sell and become the go-to person. And again, I know, look, I've used Ben's work personally for the last 3 years when we did Coastal Coupons.
Yeah, 3 years.
He's done the copy for the new website for this project, works very closely with Dre as well, and he's very, very good at what he does. And I've watched him present at events as well. And he actually, it's really, you walk away because you make it interesting. You really do. You're not just telling people what to do. You bring a bit of fun and games into it about numbers, and yeah, it's really good. So I'm actually looking forward to that one as well. So that's the round room. My VA's just turned up. Hi, Jel. How are you?
Hello, Jay. Good
Hey,
afternoon.
So my question now is to Magali. Are we actually getting any work done in our offices today? Because we're all on here.
Absolutely, we are. But it's integral that key staff and community licensees are on this meeting in order to network, meet, greet, and obviously have a further education on what is actually available and how we can, on a B2B program, connect. And I think that's why I've invited so much of the team today, Jason, and everybody else here. I just think it's extremely relative.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Maggie. And thank you to yourself and Carol and your sister for actually supporting this project from day one. And you've been the funding behind it. And seriously, it would not be what it is without your guys' help to get this up and running. So it's greatly appreciated. So
that's our pleasure, Jason.
No worries.
Let's just make sure we have an ROI, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So we've done the round the grounds. That's absolutely fantastic. So what I'm going to do now, Kel.
Yeah, mate.
I've given you co-host control. Would you like to educate some of our people here, please?
I would love to, mate. I would absolutely love to. Let me just get on here. All right. Can we all see that okay?
Yep.
Cool. So I don't know about you guys, but time is one of those things that we all cherish and we all like to. And I think a lot of us, in some respects, when we go into business, it's one of those things we are looking for. And so when you go into business, these are some of the big reasons. So now people want more time, flexible hours, they want to be your own boss. And so time is one of those real measures in some people about success. And so if you're not managing your time, if you're not actually learning to do something well with your time, all right, you are actually going to start to get frustrated. And so most of the reason why people go out of business is because they burn out, they get customer overload, they have a lack of resources and planning. Basically, if we come back to it, it comes back to time. And so as a business owner, one of the biggest things we need to do is think, how do we gain that back? And so today I'm actually going to go through a little acronym called TIME, and I'm going to go through 4 little steps, 4 little thoughts for you to be able to think, how do I get back time in my life? And I wanted to start with, this is a young guy. He came to me a number of years ago. Sean Hersey, his name is. He's a painter, and you'll see his big team there. He actually got over 35 different painters working for him now. But he came to me a number of years ago and he said, Kel, he said, I want to go out. I'm a painter. I want to build a business. I want to be a bit of a business person, not a painter all my life. My biggest problem is I'm on the tools, all right, painting all day. I've got an apprentice with me. How do I grow? And so anyway, I stuck him under my wing for a 12-month period. And I basically taught him how to manage time. And I use that term very loosely because I don't think you can really manage time because time is fixed. But what you can do is manage yourself. And so I taught him how to use skills to manage his own self-control, his self-awareness. And so over a period of 3 years, he went from one person in a tradie to 35 tradesmen, writing a best-selling book, won multiple awards, purely and simply because he worked out how to make the most of every minute of every day. To the stage where you'll see in the bottom left-hand corner there, he actually has a passion for triathlons. And so he actually competed over in Germany at his big bucket list thing for him. He went over there and competed. So within 2 years, he went from 2 people to 35 people and was able to actually train every day to go on a triathlon in Germany. That's what happens when you actually start to get a handle on your life and your time. And so a lot of us start to reach out for every app there is on the market. As soon as there's a new app, we go, oh, that's going to save me time. And that's how most apps actually market to you. Most things market to you these days about how am I going to save you time? And the reality is if you get too many apps in your life, you'll actually waste time. I 100% guarantee, and I go through this time and time again with my clients about how do we do this. I'm going to give you some more secrets on that in a minute. If you were to go to your phone right now, I'll tell you, you can actually access about 1 million different apps there are in the world. 1 million. The average business owner has over 80 apps on their phone using 35 different apps on average a day. So just do yourself a favor and actually see how much time you're wasting purely and simply by using too much. This was a bit of a life-changing sort of thought for me. It's a great book if you haven't read it. It's called The One Thing. And so if you're about to start to get into self-awareness and understanding what time is about for you, great place to start. And it just says, work on one thing at a time. Now I'm going to give you 4, and you can work on multiple different things, but just one thing in one space. So let me just think about this one. T for transformation. If you're going to get back time, you've got to start with looking in a mirror and go through a physical, emotional, and mental and your belief systems to start setting goals personally. I don't know. This is what I set for Sean. I said, mate, you need to get your time right. And if you can be happy in the things that you're doing, both physically, emotionally, mentally, and in your belief systems, set goals around those, you will actually be more productive and you'll be able to achieve a lot more. And I've proved this myself. And so up on the top left-hand side, you'll see that big guy in the red shirt. That big guy in the red shirt is me I was sitting in well over 155 kilos at that point in time, but only 12 months earlier than that, I was 185 kilos and I halved my body weight. All right. My daughter beside that, all right, she actually halved her body weight. She lost 60 kilos. So getting my physical part right exponentially helped my mental capacity and my emotional capacity to believe that I could do anything. And so even, and I call them the skinny fats, those people who don't eat well or still are skinny doesn't mean you're healthy physically. I'm not talking about just size here. If you actually look after yourself, look after your body, all right, and COVID has been bad for all of us. You'll see from those photos, I've put on a couple little kilos over the COVID period. But if you can actually control yourself, you will get back time because you'll think clearer. That's the basic thought. I want to start with that because if we don't look in a mirror first, and Jason keeps on saying I need to get a new photo on my profile picture because I've got a bit chubby cheeked. Now, I realized that that's what I've got to do. So I've actually started to get back into that sort of discipline. So T is for transformation. I is for influence. When we're trying to build time in our life, one of the things we do as business owners quite often is we're out there chasing, we're out there marketing, we're out there trying to get ourselves out into the marketplace. But let me say, if you become an influencer, if you start to influence a market, if you start to actually get to network, work in this sort of environment for me, I love. It's because we get in front of lots of people very, very quickly, and we start to influence a marketplace. And once you start to influence a marketplace, people will come to you rather than you having to chase them. Once you've made that in your business, it makes a massive, massive impression. And so some of the ways, the ways I helped Sean was to go through the book process and different things, but there's lots of ways of getting noticed and becoming an influencer. So I ran out and wrote a couple of books. Now people say, oh, gee whiz, I couldn't do that. Hey, if a painter can go out there and write a book and get a book published, anybody can. And I'm not saying anything bad about a painter, but I'm just saying, don't limit yourself and say, oh, that's not me. I couldn't ever do that. Can I just tell you a real easy secret? And I actually share this in Unleash the Future of You, that green book on the left-hand side, the first one. When I was 30 was the first time I ever read a book. Up until then, I had dyslexia. I actually started wearing glasses when I was age 30. And it wasn't until then that I could start to read. I had the reading capacity of about a 10-year-old at that stage. So if I can write a book, and not just that, write 3 best-selling books within 12 months, anybody can write a book. All right? So it's in you. Your story is unique. So be an influencer, influence in some way that you're passionate about. And what happens with that, you start to win awards, you start to get on publicity, and you start to make a name for yourself, and one leverages the other. So influence helps you save time. The next one is to multiply. So it's not about multiplying the amount of apps you have. It's about picking one app or picking one platform and focusing on that one. Now, I personally, I'm a Google user. I like the Google platform. And I really think while there's in storage area, this is a hot tip for everybody here today. There's a lot of different ways you can store your information. Can I just say, pick one, either OneDrive or Google, either Microsoft or Google. Between those two, they are the dominant markets, and they've got the most amount of other apps that feed into it. So you actually limit the amount of apps you need. I use Google because, for a lot of reasons, and I go through with my clients a lot about how to pick it. If you're up in the air, you don't know which one to go to, my suggestion would go to Google every single time for lots of different reasons. And we might be able to get it Q&A if we get a bit of time today about that. if you're going to multiply, the other thing you need to think about is how do you build a system? Now, policies and procedures manuals are out the window. You do not want paper policies and procedures. You need to have some form of digital systems, and the best way to do that is through video. And so you have somewhere to store it. On the left-hand side there, I use all the Google apps to be able to do that. All right, you can use all the suite of Microsoft as well. But the reality is that across all of these, there's so many still that we need to activate. You've got to start thinking to yourself, how can I just use the smallest amount for the biggest impact? And there's a lot of all-in-one systems around these days that will do maximum capacity, all right, and do a lot of things within one app, all right? And so if you can get one app to do 5 different jobs and they do it well, that's the key, they do it well, that is a good place to go. So all-in-one is a good place. That's why I use the suite of Google, is because Google has a lot of the things that I need to operate. And I only run literally, I run Google and I run a CRM. That is it. I do everything in my business out of 2 logins. Okay, quite phenomenal. I've grown a business literally over 3 years of 7 figures in 3 years, and now have 3 companies that are on the same trajectory that I've started this year, just by actually using less. Last one is, if you're going to actually create time, you've got to empower your people. Now, I don't know about you, this little photo on the left-hand side, that was probably the younger me, you know, before I actually went grey and I actually had some decent hair. Yeah, unlike Jay, you know, he's all fallen out as well. But if you empower your people, all right, it's amazing how much freedom you get and time you get. So on the right-hand side there, that's my daughter and I, we went on a bike ride, 500 kilometers in 5 days. I had time, I had freedom in my life. And that was me flying like an eagle the last day of the bike ride after 500 kilometers. It was 52-degree heat. All right. I got myself healthy, fit. I had the time and I empowered my team. And one of the things we think about when empowering team is I use it, and I've talked about this, and there's another episode in NEI on going through the VA process or virtual assistant. Right. So if you can get a team that you can empower, you can trust them, and you use systems where you can actually give them what's in your mind so they do things the way you want it done, you are now free. So in 3 weeks' time, 3 weeks' time from today, I actually I've just bought a brand new boat. All right, it's arrived yesterday. I'm going to hook my boat on and I'm driving up to the Northern Territory to spend 2 years fishing in Northern Territory. All right, 2 years. I have the freedom in my business to be able to do that because I follow these basic, simple principles. And that's what I love to do with everybody. All right. So have a think about it. How to remove the tears in your team. All right. Time is money. Expertise is faster than doing it yourself. You cannot be an expert at everything. So you need to leverage your time, get some experts in. Yeah. We just heard from Ben about being a good copywriter. I'm looking forward to that one next week. All right. If you're not a good copywriter, get somebody to use. If you're not good at something, get an expert. That will save you time. Don't penny pinch, for goodness sake. Take some action, get the resources, and you'll get success. That'll take away the tears of your life and make you effective. All right. Now, how's that for a 5-minute preparation presentation? That do you okay, Jay?
I'm very, very impressed, and I really appreciate your help on that. And look, what I do want to say to everyone in the room, because I've been working with you now for the last 2 months. So when I came up with the concept of what I wanted to do with the NEI project, you came on board with me, and you've actually coached me through that process to the point where I was doing 60, 70, 80 hours a week because I was trying to do 40 hours a week on NEI and still do the BBX thing. And you coached me through that process. And now I just glide through it and the whole thing is just growing exponentially. So you're not just talking it, you've proved it to me that the system that you've got there works. And, you know, I'm eternally grateful for it.
It's a real simple system. This is something that's not been developed over 5 minutes. You'll see it in the background of my photo, but here's a bigger photo of it that I have on my desktop. you know, and it's really about the first thing. And what I loved about working with Jay, and I have loved about working with Jay, he just sat there and he was a big sponge. All right. He had his thoughts on where he wanted to go, but he soaked up the extra. He took the training, he took the coaching. All right. So he transformed the way in which he was thinking. All right. He then got the tools. All right. So this is our model. It's get your thinking right, get your technology and your tools right, get your people right, and you will get time and freedom. It's a real simple thing. It sounds simple, but that's how the transformational group works. It's a group of companies, 3 different companies, looking at how do we actually just do one piece at a time and get actually to have some success in life.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Cal. Any questions, guys?
Well, I was going to ask Cal, because I already know Cal and a lot about what he does, but when you're saying being influencer, would that also be influencing people in the same industry like myself?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, when I talk about influence, how can you, if you don't hang around people who are in your industry, right? Who are the influencers? I look at it, I go, who are the influencers now? And I try and get beside that. Yeah, it's better the devil you know than the devil you don't. All right. So I get beside the influencers in my marketplace. All right. And I don't just go, I hope I get this. Well, I actually find out who they are. So in a BX sort of environment, when I'm looking for people to connect with, I'm not necessarily, I say I am looking for people to connect in the referral partners, but what I'm looking for is connections to the people who are the biggest influencers in the market. People who are better than me, people that are doing things better than I do, because that's what I want to aspire to and beat.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so by doing that, then they influence you. You start to see how you can then change what you do to be an influencer of the marketplace.
No, it's fantastic. Thank you.
Beautiful. Any other questions, guys? Okay, I'll look at the time. We finished up at a normal time, which is really good. All right. Kel, I really appreciate everything you've done there. Now, as normal, this is being recorded, so by tomorrow morning it will be topped and tailed and be put up in the network. That way, if you want to share it with somebody or you want to see it again, you can. I will find out what's happened to Thomas. Like I say, I am a little bit concerned. If he is still breathing and he's around, I will actually get him to create a video. I'll do a one-on-one with him on what he was going to present. And again, I'll get that up in the network. Just a reminder, Ben, next week he's doing our talk on how to write fabulous copy and how to wow. And I know he can do that because he's been doing one for years. And just also a quick one for the BBX members in the room, and there are a few of you. As you may have noticed, we sent a lot of emails out about it. We're actually doing online networking for BBX and BConnect members next Wednesday morning. So at 7:45, we'll open the doors, we'll have a bit of a chat, and then we'll go through networking. Tash Robertson is going to be talking about the difference between Facebook ads and boosted posts. And for somebody like myself who's spent a lot of time in Facebook, when she explained it to me, I felt like an idiot because I thought I knew Facebook and I don't. I thought boosted post, it's great. Nah, they're not good. And she's going to explain why. So that's a good one to have. For the people in the room that are not BBX or BConnect members, if you want to know how to be a member, if you want to get access to all that extra stuff, all the extra networking that we can get you access to, just drop me a line through the network. So I think we've finished the proceedings. I'm going to stop the recording.